Беги, сказала, быстро, беги,
From the 2019 Soldier Boy movie. It tells a true story about the life of the youngest boy from Russia, Sergei Aleshkov, who lost his entire family. He was picked up by an army of fighters and then joined the fighting in World War II when he was only 6 years old. Finally, he was awarded the Medal of Honor and Honor as the youngest soldier who fought for his nation. The first scene shows Serezha, who is the soldier boy, playing on a tree, while his mother is washing in the river, when a fighter plane is seen coming to attack them. His mother tells him to hide. Because he is a brave child, he shoots the bird with a catapult and then looks for his mother, but she does not see him. But he was dreaming of all that. He jumps to sleep panting while worried. He calls his mother. Immediately, his mother knocks on the door and enters while calling him. The mother quickly packs the luggage so that they can run and leave for fear of being killed by the German army, which was a big threat in that war. Soon the voices of German soldiers are heard. The mother decides to take her son out of the window and tells him to run to save his life, and the child actually runs away while the mother is shot and dies. The child reaches the place, he turns back and looks at their house, he witnesses it burning, he realizes that his mother has been killed, as is the case with his brothers and other siblings. Looking behind him, there are many German soldiers chasing him and wanting to take his life. He runs until they try to save his life. That's when he gets the chance to cry bitterly over the death of his mother, who was the defender and the only hope for his life after losing all his blood relatives. In the big forest, he is scary beyond his age. The child gets the courage to face everything in front of him. When he sees enemies, he hides. The German soldiers are looking for him, they miss him and decide to leave. At that time, there were still attacks here and there, bombs from the sky and bullets from the ground continued to roll. At a very bad moment for him, he is injured by a bomb explosion, so he loses strength and sleeps there. As soon as they pass, the Russian soldiers see him, they take him to their military camp. They ask him his name and his family, he tells them his name as he is Serezha, but he cannot speak about his family. He keeps crying in pain because there is no one left, they have all been killed by the German army. Then the soldiers give him drinking water and then they take him to a special medical center with other wounded of war. After several days have passed while continuing to heal his injuries, Serezha shows his desire to become a commando. Many soldiers are impressed by his sense of humor, as he has been a great comfort to them. He looks like a child, but what he talks about is in line with adults. So they started treating him as a fellow soldier. Commander-in-Chief Kuznetsov, who is the leader of the Russian army, needs to remove the child from the war zone and send him to an orphanage for his safety, because his father died before the war, and his mother and brothers were all killed by German soldiers. But the majority of the soldiers are asking the commander to include Serezha in their army unit that is fighting for their nation, as they believe that there is a great contribution they will get from the child and to check his safety more, including Bent Katia, who is the main nurse for the sick and wounded of the war. Still, Commander Kuznetsov insists that war is not a safe place for children. As the days go by, the commander is more touched by the child. When Serezha lost his parents and siblings, then the commander decides to take an oath to be Serezha's father. And since then the child and the commander have a closeness of father and son. So in the end the commander has a high level of love for the child. Serezha unites and his companions agree to keep him in the camp and include him in their army. They make army uniforms for him and then he officially becomes the youngest soldier fighting for his nation. He begins to wonder many questions about war, starting with the use of weapons such as guns and so on. Despite his small size, he manages to enter the battlefield. And since he is young, he is unable to handle heavy weapons. But his role in the war is to send information to the soldiers and give help to the wounded. And sometimes they ask what to do to fulfill the duty if the one who was supposed to fulfill it is injured. When they are in the camp, he is close to the wounded and provides them with small services such as drinking water and so on, as well as singing a beautiful song to give them hope. Sometimes he reads them letters sent from home. Indeed, the child's presence continues to attract everyone to realize his value in defending their nation. He often warns the older soldiers who look at him like a child, but he wants them to see him as a true young soldier who defends and fights for the land of his nation. He is given binoculars to check the safety of the campsites and a fake gun to learn more. In fact, he is very happy for this child. He is more than a commando for what he shows compared to his age. So by using the binoculars given to him, he uses it to patrol, especially when the soldiers are out of battle and resting in order to plan other plans to deal with the enemies. So several times he manages to see the enemies, he gives information, and the enemies are controlled. The most amazing thing that the child has is not only his skill to participate in the war, he also cares about other people's feelings and happiness. Those who always say that love runs the world are not completely wrong. While the war continues, we see Commander Kuznetsov and Nurse Katya drowning in a wave of love, each with feelings of love for the other, but they fail to make it clear to each other that love does not have a commando. So when the young soldier, Serezha Shinshikin, discovers that, he makes an effort to bring them together. Finally, he manages to bring them together and the two share their hearts. We are returning to the war, the struggle continues, the importance and bravery of the child soldier continues to be seen now that he has reached the point of carrying out the orders and instructions of the commander. And sometimes he commands the army and passes the loku. As the war draws to a close after the attacks subside, Serezha, a child soldier, meets a Russian war general. He uses the opportunity to ask for the proposal of Commander Kuznetsov, who is his father, to be his adoptive father, so that he will be given the opportunity to marry Katya, who is a nurse in their army. Because the two show love for each other. At the end of the war, Serezha Shinshikin is awarded a Medal of Praise and Honor as the youngest hero who fought to defend his country at only 6 years old. Since then he continued to be a soldier of the army. After peace and tranquility found, Commander Kuznetsov and Mistress Katya got married. Child soldier Shuja Serezha was included and brought up as a child of the family. And later they were lucky to have children and a bigger family. The child hero Serezha lived in that family until he grew up and he started his family and lived until the day he died. That is the movie Soldier Boy, which tells the true history of a 6-year-old boy, Sergei Aleshkov, who fought for his Russian nation. Here we learn a great lesson that national patriotism is a very big thing and everyone should fight for their nation in one way or another. As a 6-year-old child, he went to war again in the Great World War. How can you fail today even by using education or part of your wealth? That is patriotism. Bravo, Soldier Boy. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more movies review here on Movie Half.